A year ago, his record on anti-Semitism overshadowed the election campaign, contributing to Labour's comprehensive defeat at the polls. Today, once again, after a damning report by the Equalities and Human Rights Commission, Jeremy Corbyn's reluctance to apologise has cost him dear: suspension from the party he once led.
Very shocked and very disappointed. I've been in the Labour Party all my life, and I want to make it absolutely clear: anti-Semitism has no place whatsoever in our party or our movement.
Earlier, the scale of the criticism in the report led to this apology from Mr Corbyn's successor.
I found this report hard to read, and it is a day of shame for the Labour Party. We have failed Jewish people.
The report found the Labour Party responsible for unlawful acts of harassment and discrimination. There were 23 instances of political interference by the leader of the opposition's office, and it failed to provide adequate training to those handling anti-Semitism complaints. But asked about Mr Corbyn's role, Keir Starmer seemed reluctant at first to point the finger.
Do you think that your predecessor was ever fit to be leader of the Labour Party? And do you think that he still has a place in the party now?
The report doesn't make individual findings about Jeremy Corbyn. It has strong findings about a collective failure of leadership.
A social media post by Mr Corbyn an hour later changed all that. He wrote that the scale of the problem was also dramatically overstated for political reasons by our opponents inside and outside the party. Keir Starmer decided he had to act.
I made it clear that we won't tolerate anti-Semitism or the denial of anti-Semitism through the suggestion that it's exaggerated or factional, and that's why I was disappointed with Jeremy Corbyn's response.
Among those who say they were driven out of the party by Mr Corbyn's failure to deal with anti-Semitism, his suspension was welcomed. This former MP suffered repeated anti-Semitic abuse.
I think it was the right decision to suspend him in the wake of the findings of the report and in the wake of his response. You cannot seek to denigrate victims' experiences, particularly in the wake of a statutory body finding the depths and the findings that it has today.
But Unite's Len McCluskey condemned it as an act of grave injustice, which, if not reversed, will create chaos within the party and in doing so compromise Labour's chances of a general election victory. A split party will be doomed to defeat. Ken Livingstone, whose conduct is highlighted in the report, said Mr Corbyn had done nothing wrong.
If you're the leader of the party and there's an accusation of anti-Semitism, you get involved, you find out what's going on, you make sure it's dealt with.
That wasn't the due process, though. That wasn't what they were supposed to be doing at all.
These have all just been lies and smears.
Not the view of the new Labour leader, today making clear who was in charge. Libby Vina, News at 10, Westminster.